Ho ho ho! Welcome kitchen table wizards, welcome deck brewers from all over the world. Maybe you heard the news, but apparently there's a Magic the Gathering anime series in the making for Netflix, and apparently it's around Planeswalkers. A big surprise. Well, what are we going to feature in our deck today? Maybe a Planeswalker. Let's brew a deck around some elementals and around Chandra. So for all the lovers of basic mountains, of redheads, of elementals, I have some good news for you, because this deck is also going to be featured in our Gauntlet. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon as well, so you keep on getting updates for when the new video comes out, and especially when the video of our draw party will come out, because there we will announce all the decks for the new Gauntlet. And that will be in early January, so not that long from now. And in this Gauntlet you can also win some sweet prizes if you compete in our leaderboard, and this is sponsored by Mr. Santa Claus himself. He's also called Cardmarket. They keep throwing us vouchers and I keep throwing them back to you. So if you're looking for the best way to buy some singles, to buy some Magic product in Europe, definitely check out Cardmarket. You can find all the link in the description below. Now Nora, start up the barbecue, fire up the oven. We are going into the red land of fire. We are going to visit our friend the Planeswalker Chandra. Let's head into the deck. The deck is only around $30 US, only around 25 euros, so definitely a good price. And we start as always
with the basic lines.
Thanks Nora, there were a lot of options, and this time my focus was not only on the art but also on the card frame of these 20 mountains. And to be honest, in foil these look amazeballs. The art is from our creative wizard Jonas de Roo, and I like this mysterious vibe that surrounds the art as well. We kept the land base pretty simple and only added 2 forgotten caves for 22 lands in total. So you might be thinking, Bram, 22 lands with Planeswalkers, is this enough? Well, I'll tell you, it's enough, because we also play around 20 cards that cost 2 mana or less. So plenty of low casting cost cards, but of course we also play our most famous redhead in Magic, and I'm not talking about our intern.
Alrighty then.
Sorry Nora, I'm talking about Chandra. Let's look at some Planeswalkers. This deck will have 7 Planeswalkers, and the first one is Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. Her 0 ability is really good when you have multiple Planeswalkers on the battlefield, and we also have an elemental sub-team in the deck, so the second ability is also really nice. Talking about elementals, Chandra's Novice Pyromancer gives all your elementals +2/+0, and it can also help you ramp into bigger Planeswalkers. It can deal with small creatures or deal that final blow. The next Chandra was about $25 US, but luckily for us budget casual Magic players it dropped down to around 5. And she looks a little bit like my girlfriend when I forgot to put the trash out on Friday. Chandra, Torch of Defiance, costs 4 mana and has 2 great plus abilities. It can ramp and get some extra damage, or it can give us some card advantage. Its -3 ability deals with small to medium creatures, and its -7 is just bonkers. You get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage to target creature or player. The third 4 mana Chandra, called Fire Artisan, also likes fiery hair and deals damage when your opponent is trying to kill her. Her +1 is similar than the previous version of Torch of Defiance, just without the damage. And her -7 gives you 7 extra cards to choose from. Red hair on fire is really a theme in this video.
This girl is on fire.
And Chandra Heart on Fire, I think it was a typo. I think if you look at the art, it has to be Chandra Hair on Fire. This is one of those planeswalkers you really have to test out, and I really love what it does. What I don't really understand is that it only costs €1. It's really a bargain. Really check it out, try to play with it. It's just so cheap at the moment. I even bought myself an extended art version for only $4 US. Amazeballs. Who says Magic is an expensive hobby? Not me, I keep it casual and I still can play with the bling. So for 5 mana you get another Chandra with 5 loyalty and 2+1 abilities. The first one deals 2 damage to any target and the second one is crazy good. You discard a hand, exile the top 3 cards and you may play them until your end of turn. Its -9 ability may be a little bit better in a full burn deck, and I think personally when you have her at this amount of loyalty you probably already won the game. Haha, more Hair on Fire. I wonder which conditioner she uses. Well, Chandra Flame Caller works great with our Novice Pyromancer, as she spits out 2 elementals each turn and she does it with a smile. Her 0 ability is card draw and she can also act as a board wipe. So definitely a good include this Chandra. The last version of our Planeswalkers with Hair on Fire series is Chandra Awakened Inferno. She can't be countered, obviously, and she gives your opponent an emblem that slowly burns him or her to the ground. Chandra Awakened Inferno also deals 3 damage to all non-elemental creatures, which is awesome in our elemental filled deck. And her -X can also change some bigger creatures and planeswalkers into some crispy bacon. Now Chandra, she loves some elementals and that's why I also put a nice elemental sub-team in the deck. Now what some of you didn't know is that Chandra is actually a cat lady. Yes, she has 4 cats that give her some mana and also give her some cuddles. She also has 2 boiling walking teapots and a horse. And that could be a serious problem with control players. Chandra also has 1 dog and a terrarium with 2 lizards. And then there are 3 Helion-like creatures that could be Helions, but they're not, they're elementals. Good for Chandra, bad for the Helion fans. Well, if those exist anyway. Now time for some one-offs maybe. Catalyst Elemental helps ramping up Chandra. Mind Sparker annoys control players even worse, and the War Elemental looks more like a piece of junk than an elemental if you ask me, but it can get huge pretty fast with all the damage dealing. Especially when you also have Chandra's favorite giant out there, which can burn or allows you to play one of the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. The last couple elementals I want to talk about are also really powerful creatures you don't want to mess with. They cost 6 mana and you get a 6/6 trampler, but you'll often be playing them for a lot less. And they will also deal with creatures and planeswalkers when you deal damage to your opponent. Awesome card design, awesome card and great hair. Now I really do think that our intern is turning into Chandra. It's not only the red hair but also Nora, she has a thing for phoenixes, and also Chandra, she has 1 phoenix of her own. As a true phoenix, this card will never be defeated, it will never die, but it will always rise again, in our case when a red instant, sorcery or Chandra will deal damage to an opponent. It's getting hotter in here, let's look at some burn cards. No red deck is complete without some burn, so I included 1 iconic lightning bolt and 1 lesser shock. Now why do you include a shock? Well, my lightning bolt, he's on the restricted list, and for the shock I chose this version. Why, you may ask? For the flavor, of course. Look at this flavor text, it's amazing. Once I saw a goblin shouting at a thunderstorm. He lost the argument pretty quickly. You have to love it. More 2 mana fiery flavored burn spells we find in Abrade, Chandra's Pyro Helix and Chandra's Triumph. And the last one is especially strong in our deck with all these Chandras. Now, because we play a bunch of legendary planeswalkers, I felt we also could include Jaya's Immolating Inferno, a great burn spell that can incinerate up to 3 targets. Now, if you don't know who Jaya is, well, she was Chandra's mentor at the Carol Keep, and I also made a little burn deck where she is featured in. I've put even the link here in the top right corner. Now, this legendary enchantment doesn't trigger with the Jaya's Inferno, but with all the planeswalkers in the deck it will still do some extra damage. Now, planeswalkers, they usually travel light. Chandra also has some stuff for her hair, but she also has a few other items. Chandra's Regulator is legendary, and that's why I only included 1 copy. But it does some damn good work in our deck.
Regulators.
So let's look what the card does. Whenever you activate a loyalty ability of a planeswalker, you may copy this ability for only 1 mana. And it can also help you cycle through your deck in the later game. A damn good card.
We're damn good too.
Now, apparently diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Okay, well, let's give Nora, I mean Chandra, a diamond in the deck too. As we only play 22 lands, it's good to have that extra 2-drop that gives us some mana along with our fire cats. The last piece of gear is this Mask of Immolation, an artifact that makes an elemental, and it can be used to sacrifice creatures or tokens for those last points of damage. So this was our tribute to Chandra. Nora, what's next?
The power rankings?
Ah, yes. Chandra's planeswalkers are powerful creatures, and when you have a few of them on the battlefield, the deck can do powerful stuff. I think it's still pretty accessible, and of course you'll be taking a more aggressive approach with this Red Chandra deck. The deck is also not too pricey, around 25 euros or $30 US, so it's definitely value for money. Now, if you like to follow our Gauntlet and if you like to predict our matches to win some prizes, well, you better pay attention now, because here is the metagame review. A really fast deck can be a problem, as you do need a little bit of time to set up your Chandras. Mid-range decks allow you to have a little bit more time, so this is good for your planeswalkers. Now, control decks with a lot of counter spells could be a problem, so it really depends here if you have your Chandra already on the battlefield before they can disrupt you. And Chandra's Horse or the Mind Sparker are the cards you want to see in your opening hand against these decks. Now on to our card market winner, Nora.
Our card market voucher is Claudia Plata. Congratulations! Check out the description down below on how to contact us.
So this was my take on the Chandra deck. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I already look forward to seeing this deck in our Gauntlet. I think actually it will do pretty well. Unless maybe it's matched up against the Sphinx deck. Oh, that could hurt. Well, I hope you have some great holidays. I hope you can relax a little bit. I hope you can play some Magic with some friends and family. And as always, happy holidays and keep it casual.